In our day-to-day lives, we are assaulted by several different kinds of media, all with varying agendas. With all the white noise we hear on a day-to-day basis, it can be easy to tune everything else out and get all your information from one source. This practice, however, can be dangerous. When you choose to get all your information from one media outlet, you are reinforcing in yourself a media bias. This can sway you to one point of view or another, and overall make your viewpoint weaker, as this outlet won't show you the problems with that opinion. In the Journal of Political Economy, authors Matthew Genshaus and Jesse M. Shapiro said this: "Our first set of results shows that firms will tend to distort information to make it conform with consumers' prior beliefs. To see why, consider that a noisy or inaccurate signal is more likely to produce reports that contradict the truth. An agent who has a strong prior belief about the state of the world will therefore expect inaccurate information sources to contradict that belief more often than accurate ones. This means that in order to avoid media bias, one must not let themselves form a concrete or unchanging view of the world as a whole." But what exactly is bias? Bias is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as prejudice in favor of or against one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way considered to be unfair. So you essentially favor one group, person, opinion, etc., over or to the exclusion of all others. When you have a media bias and gather all your information from one source, you are not being a properly informed citizen. One must always fact-check this news story. Look at several outlets that are covering the same story. See what facts remain the same and which show a large disparity. When talking about competition between news outlets, David P. Barron said, "Tolerating bias can be consistent with profit maximization. Competition from a news organization with less bias, however, could force a higher bias news organization to reduce the discretion granted to its journalists. Bias, however, is shown to persist with competition between like-oriented news organizations, where individuals choose between competing publications based on their preferences for stories with different possible biases. This means that when news outlets with different orientations compete with the same story, they are more likely to hold each other accountable and keep each other's bias to a minimum. When you fact-check and compare multiple stories from different sources, you can avoid media bias and be an informed citizen." Thank you for watching.